how to dive more deeply into meditation? Like,
Yeah.
do you, what's
I would say
considered?
those the ones that I mentioned, and there's many more, are really for the beginner level. Beginner, and then Mind Valley might even be more intermediate, uh, intermediate and beginning to now really dive into one's interest. Then I would recommend, or as doing those, would recommend following work of different great teachers, depending on who kind of grabs your attention, who you're interested in from. You can do like Deepak Chopra has many great 21-day kind of meditation challenges in which they're focused on, let's say, something like health, and he will talk about uh, an element of health and then guide like a 15-minute meditation, I think, with a mantra.
Great.
Then there's also, he has books as well. Then the practice and whose work I follow now more advanced is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he has great books like Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and week-long retreats that I went to last November, in which it really dives into more advanced technique and what's possible with it, and what's really going on, using science as a language to understand what's not only going on in your brain and your body, but kind of more ethereal concepts and spiritual concepts, and the science to demystify it. Now that's really depending on one's level, diving more into the advanced, or even, I don't know what advanced is. There's so many like levels, it's kind of endless. I'm probably at a beginner levels compared to many, I'm sure. Then there's also like in December 2019, I went to a silent meditation retreat, and that itself is pretty intense and I would like to say advanced. So once somebody really builds that interest and comes to a point, or not comes to a point, but a recognition that it's something that they're interested in trying, maybe because there's a little bit of fear there, a little, but combined with curiosity, go in and advance that understanding a little bit. But with the practice of meditation, I myself started with like Headspace or those apps that I mentioned, and slowly built over time, almost unpurposely. Like I didn't say, okay, I'm going to start with 5 minutes, and in 2 years I'm going to be doing an hour and a half. It just naturally kind of took a journey of its own and built. But with that, one builds a more familiarity and with oneself and trust with oneself to kind of listen to oneself, and allow that guidance, to go on a retreat, or to check out this guy's work, or to check out this app or this meditation, or even just begin to also, with all of those other resources and individuals, cultivate the practice on their own, so they don't need a guidance of an audio or whatever it may be. They just sit down in the morning or whatever time, and because of all they've learned, guide can be their own leader.